బ్రేక్ వస్తుందా? హలో, ఓకే
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్.
హలో
సార్ 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 చెప్పండి సార్.
details and unit 6 is databases. Okay, now what are journals? What are journals? Anyone? What are journals? Journal publications. Did you listen this word any? No? Yes or no? Okay, so journal is a serial publication.
అమ్మా యశ్ ఉన్నాడా?
Serial publication.
వాయిస్ రావట్లేదు సార్, కట్ అవుతుంది.
వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ సార్.
That means
Sir, video also not coming.
which is public. Hello, okay. So there will be
video is not, now it is coming.
Now it's coming. Okay.
Oh, okay,
Right.
sir.
There must be some technical issues, right? Okay. So journal publications are the publications which are published at a regular intervals, wherein the content is all scholarly material. Scholarly material means research material or review material, some kind of a intellectual content, right? So all the researchers or eminent personalities, they publish research information regularly at particular intervals, right? So that kind of information is published in the form of a journals. So a journal will contain number of articles. Did you see journals anytime? ఎవరన్నా చూసారా? ఎవరన్నా చూసారా జర్నల్స్ ఎప్పుడన్నా? Any time? No? So just check it once, what journal will be having, how it will be looking, right? What will be there in the journal, right? So journal contains articles, research articles published by the researchers, right? So that will be published in the form of a journal, and it is published at a regular interval. It can be weekly, it can be fortnight, it can be monthly, or it's quarterly, half yearly, or yearly also, right? So that is published at a regular interval. That is called a serial publication. Serials, right? You all know what is a serial, which is coming daily in the TV, right? Like that, here also serial publication means it will appear not every day. It may be every day, it may be at a regular intervals. So that kind of publications are called as serial publications, and in them journals are very, very important publications. The journals are used by the researchers, the persons who are pursuing the research work, or scientists, eminent personalities. They will be searching for information in the journals. Then uh, what happens in journal is, whenever a person writes an article, so I will brief you about a journal, because that is all basics you have to know about the journal, right? So when I wanted to publish my research article, in a journal. I have identified a particular article, a journal, right? So what I will do is, I will send a draft to them. I will send whatever I have written in the format. They will be specifying a format. In that format, I will be sending to the journal publisher. So what they will do is, they will send this article to reviewers. Reviewer is a person who will evaluate it, whether it is up to mark or not, whether it is a research article or not. They will find out. They will read it and they will find out. Okay. So the person who does this is called as reviewers. So reviewer will do review of the research article, right? So if they accept it, that will be confirmed to us. That acceptance is confirmed to us, and that article is published in their journal. So that is how it happens. So in olden days, now because of technology, there e-journals are there, electronic journals. Like e-books, there are electronic journals also. So here, in case of a printed publication, it used to take more time, a long time, right? So for example, if I wanted to publish a print, so what I will say, I will send this article, then they will take time for review. After reviewing, they will again, if there are any corrections or suggestions they will make, they'll send to us. Again, the author has to update it, edit it, and again send to the reviewers again. If they found it okay, then they will be accepting. If they accept it, again that will be sent for the printing, right? So, and only one article will not be printed, right? There will be several articles. So it takes more time. So for publishing a journal volume of a journal, it takes some time. So this is it is usually from 1 month to 6 months also, sometimes 1 month to 6 months. It depends on the demand of the journal or the eminence of the journal. It depends, right? So these are all time bound factors. But because of these e-journals, latest electronic journals, so no, there is no print here. We will be seeing the article on the computers or some devices which are used to access these journal articles. Okay, right. So we'll brief you about some of the important points about the journals or electronic journals. So electronic journals contains latest information. Latest information means research information. The information which is found by research, and where that information is not published elsewhere. It is the first time it is appearing in that. So that kind of sources are called as primary sources, and journal is an example of a primary where information will be made available. First information or research information, it is called as, right? They wanted to notify a larger audience about this, right? Large number of people who wanted to use that information. So that is called as a journal, right? So journal will be distributed to all the audience who are in need of that information, right? It may be a student, it may be a researcher, or it may be a scientist also. Then it is also a kind of a permanent record in the Okay. So electronic journals has made the our work easy also, because this time lapse, whatever the time it is consuming from the writing of the article to the publication stages, the total time is now lessened, and it has become it is occupying very less time, and also the distribution is also very easy. Now, in olden days, they used to send the print versions by post, and it used to take more time sometimes. And international also, if you wanted to send internationally, then also it will be difficult, right? So, but because of this electronic versions, it has become now easy, and we can publish within no time, within very less time. I mean to say, within very less time, we can publish an article in a research electronic journals. A brief history about the journals before we begin actually into the details, right? Now, the electronic journal means, e-journal means electronic journals. Again, same as in the case of e-book, it is an electronic version of a printed journal, or sometimes nowadays there is no printed version also. Many of the journals are appearing in an online only or e-version only. There is no print version of the journal articles. Earlier, before the actually this electronic came, they used to publish. That means I'm going to say, between the print and the electronic versions, there was a provision of making these journal articles on CD-ROMs also. CD-ROMs. They used to copy the journal articles on the CDs, and they used to send to the libraries. So they used to do like that, CD-ROMs, right? Because it was something better than the printed version. But even now, because of technological advances, it has become more and more, and now it is always online only. Online, we can download it anywhere. We can read them anywhere from the world. We can read any number of times also. Okay, it depends on the licensing model again. Okay, now a brief history. A brief about some of the important points in the development of e-journals. In 1960, UNESCO report. In 1960, UNESCO has published a report. In that, it has mentioned that first electronic journal was named. Its name is Mental Workload. Mental Workload. That was published in 1960. It was dealing with the human-machine interactions. Human-machine interaction. It was the first e-journal, noted e-journal, that was mentioned by UNESCO report in 1960. Then again, in 1980, New Jersey Institute of Technology has published another electronic journal, first full-fledged journal. It was funded by National Science Foundation of USA. Again, it was also the same thing, new mental workload. It was also the same thing. It was a full-fledged journal. Okay. Then in 1980s, under this project, Birmingham Labor Electronic Network Development. So it is called as BLEND project. BLEND, Birmingham Labor Electronic Network Development, right? So in that, they have published a journal entitled Computer Human Factors. Computer Human Factors. So that is the name of the journal, which was published in 1980s. It was designed to accept the publications, refer it, edit it, and archive the publications. Archiving means storing in the database, storing them in the server. That is called as archiving. So that facilities were there in this BLEND project. Again, it was in 1987 again, Syracuse University's e-journal. E-journal was published with the name New Horizons in Adult Education. So that is the name of the journal, e-journal, which was published in 1987 by Syracuse University's e-journal. Syracuse University's e-journal. Okay, it was in 1987. So there were several publications are there, but whatever it may be, the advent of World Wide Web in 90s, in mid 90s, has revolutionized the e-journal concept, because the WWW, the World Wide Web, was came into the picture in the world in the mid 1990s. Then automatically this online system has come up, right? So slowly there was a gradual development and exponential development of electronic journals during this. So in 1990s, another the popular publishers like Elsevier, Springer, Wiley Publications, they have started e-journal systems, and one of the popular one of Springer systems was Red Sage, Red Sage, REDSAGE. This was published along with the collaboration of University of California, San Francisco, and the Bell Laboratories. It was published in mid 1990s. It has an additional feature of having SDI, selective dissemination of information. That facility was there in these journals. I think you all know what is an SDI, right? Then again, John Hopkins in 1995 created the project Muse. Under this, they networked university systems where they used to collaborate, and joint collaboration was there for having the e-versions of the journals. Okay, the first gateway built by the libraries was OPAC in 1995. Wherein the mark field 856 was assigned for electronic locations or URL, Uniform Resource Link. So a mark field was added in 1995 because of this development. Right? And by 2000, e-journals has become a common factor. E-journals have become common from 2000 onwards because there were vast development in the technologies, and alphabet they have number of databases have come up, and there was a very good vast development, strong development in those areas. So this is a brief introduction about the history and growth of e-journals. Okay. Now we'll see what are the advantages and disadvantages of e-journals. In page number 56, it is there. Now, so as I said earlier in the earlier class about ebooks, so you need not go to the library. You can search, you can read the journals from your home, at your desktop. From your desktop, you can read the journal articles. So it is available 24/7, anywhere, anytime, any place, right? So like that, these are the advantages, some of the advantages. And also, as I said, these e-journals has reduced the delay in the printing of that. Okay, now there is no printing part. Directly it is published on the servers so that it can be accessed through your systems. Okay, and some of the important the advantages I would like to mention, which are also mentioned in the textbook, are: first one is speed of production and distribution. So as I said in the earlier case, because of printers, right, print versions, in case of print versions, there used to be delay, long delay, very long delay, right? Some postal delay were there, and transportation, and there were many other factors which was contributing for the delay. But because of this technological advances, the delay, a kind of a delays were reduced. Now, very speedily produced and also very speedily distributed also. Within seconds, if you send an email, it will be sent to your friend wherever they are, right? In America also, they can see that email. Like that here also, e-journals, when it is published, they can also see from another country. It is published immediately, right? And this was not the case in case of a print versions. Okay, that speed of production and distribution was the major advantage in case of a e-journals. Then accessibility. As I said, accessibility. Same like e-book, if there are 10 books, only 10 people can access. That means one book at a time. But in case of electronic books or electronic journals, it can be any number of users. Multiple users at a time can be accessing those documents. So multiple users, any number of times, any time also. Okay. So that is the major advantage of e-journals. The subscription cost. So in case of a printed works, it was costly because they used to print, right? The charges were very high. But here there are no printing charges, just we are submitting onto the servers. So initially the cost will be more. Initially when we start a journal, it will be costing more, but later on when we because there are no charges of publishing or printing charges, we'll have the profits later on. That is how the journals have been starting the electronic versions. They are accepting the electronic versions now. The subscription costs in case of electronic journals are very, very less. Okay, very, very less. Initially, it was costlier for the person who is initiating this journal, but later on that that cost was adjusted during the course of time. Then no fear of loss and mutilation. There is no fear of loss that someone will tear it off, someone will copy it. Okay, because of the technological provisions that has made us so that we can restrict the people to protect the document from mutilation or damaging or removal, something like that. So all these provisions are made available in electronic journals. So there is no fear of loss or mutilation. Then multimedia capabilities. So multimedia capabilities. So multimedia capabilities are like, for example, in a printed book, we cannot insert a multimedia document. We cannot insert a sound clip. We cannot insert a video clip, whereas that is possible in the electronic version. We can insert hyperlinks. We can insert images. We can insert audio clips, video clips, everything. So then there only we can click that. If you click on that link, that video will be on, right? So you can see that video or audio can be played on the EJournals. That was possible because of EJournal, which is not possible in the printed versions. Then internet and external links. Yes, definitely external links can also be posted. Like for example, in the case of a references, at the end of the journal article, we can post the references. Their hyperlinks can be published, right? So there only the author or reader, they can click on that link so that that will be transformed to another web page. So that was possible because of electronic journals, which was not possible in the printed cases, right? These are some of the advantages of e-journals, and of course there are even the limitations, limitations for the electronic journals also. Disadvantages and limitations in case of electronic journals. Now, some of them are, first one is, yeah, as I said, initially it will take more amount of investment. Then later on, that investment can be adjusted during the course of time. So initially it will take more amount, but later on, but however, whatever the initial cost, it is very advantageous for researchers and the scientists, because it is published immediately and it is very easy to access them also. Then, as I said, same thing, you cannot read continuously on the computers. It will affect your eyes, strain your eyes. That is also a major problem. Of course, you have to reduce the brightness of the screens so that not much brightness or not much effect will be there for your eyes. Then, of course, the technological support, you need to have a desktop, you need to have an internet connection, you should have a hardware, you should have a software for that. All these are all dependencies for, if you do not have any one of them, then you are not able to read the document. Suppose you do not have internet connection, you will not be able to open the e-journal, right? So like this, there are other issues also there, which are technically related, technologically related. And of course, you should also know you should also have the knowledge about the software and hardware also. Then, of course, there are several, because of these technological advances, even the models for subscription and licensing are also huge. Number of licensing models are there, subscription models are there, right? Because why this has come up is because of the competition between the journal publishers, and also they wanted to attract the users. Like for example, you can see in our mobiles, right? There are a number of schemes are there, right? If you do this, if you will get this, or you will get unlimited calls, if you will get mobile data, like that. There are many schemes are there. Here also in journals also there are number of licensing models are there and acquisition models are there. Okay, and to understand those, it is very difficult because it's a challenging task for the librarian, because it involves the money, financial matters, right? So whenever you take a decision, it costs, right? So therefore, you have to take a right decision. To take the right decision, you should understand the basics of this. Okay. Then archiving and backfiles availability is also there in the in case of EJournals. So that is the provision which is made up, which is available in the this. Then websites change their URLs. That is also a problem. See, sometimes after some time, that URL might not appear, or renamed, or change it to another one. So then there is a problem. Like for example, you cannot open the link. So you'll find if you open the font link, then what happens? The website not found page will be appearing there. Okay, and also the other problems like the change of URLs, then IP blocking. Sometimes the IP addresses are blocked because of some reasons, or firewalls. Because of that reason, also there will be a blockage of the IP addresses. Then embargoes are there. Embargoes are nothing but the temporary restrictions imposed on particular users. Temporary restrictions on particular user or a particular document. Suppose the publisher doesn't want to show it for 15 days or 20 days, they will impose embargo on that. So that these embargoes are also a problem for the sources. So these are some of the disadvantages or limitations for EJournals. Then the next topic is acquisition of EJournals. How to acquire these EJournals, which is there in 57 page number 57. Now, acquisition of journals. Acquisition means purchasing the journals. So purchasing means licensing, taking the license, or you have to obtain the license for accessing this documents, accessing those journals online. Now, what is this access? Access means retrieving or reading the information online. So suppose if you are not getting the link, suppose this class is there, you are not getting the password, or you are not given the password, you cannot open this. You will not be able to see this class. So therefore, that is called as license. They have given the license to watch this class or see these classes, right? So therefore, this is called as access. Now there are access models are there. How to access a e-journal? Remote access. Remote means the journal is not available in your system. It is available elsewhere in other country or in other places in a server. So how do you access them? Through internet. We will access that document from the network. So that is called as access, remote access, remote. That means the document is available remotely at a different places. Now, how do you access this? Based on user ID password. You will have a user ID password or IP enabled system or their IP. Some IP addresses are fixed, and whenever you are accessing from those IP addresses, they will not ask you any authentication. So, and a combination of these two also are used for accessing the documents. The next method is on-site access. On-site access means the documents are available on the same system, like CDs or in the server itself, they are there. You go to the system and you can access those journals. On-site. Remote means off-site. You are not on the site, right? That is the second method. And the third method is access through database. Now, presently all the journals are saved in the form of a database. So in database, everything is dumped in the database, and you will be searching the database, retrieving the database, whatever information you wanted it, and you are accessing them. Again, it is also through login procedures. The same login procedures we will be applying here. So this is the third method, accessing how e-journals through database. Okay, these are the access models, and coming to pricing models. Pricing. So how do they fix the prices? Because any journal will have the print as well as the electronic version also. Most of them, they're having the print version as well as the electronic version also. So what they are doing is they are suppose they wanted to have both, they'll fix for 15 to 30% of the printed cost to the like for example, if it is costing 100 rupees, they'll fix 30 rupees for the online version. So you are getting at a lesser cost. That is also a method of pricing model. So you'll be purchasing by paying 30 rupees the online versions, for a limited period or a specified period. It will be there. Then online access, open access journals are there, which are available freely. So there are many journals which are open access. Open access means you need not pay any money. You can read them anytime, any number of times. You can download them also. So sometimes some journals are providing the online version with the print subscription. If you purchase a print subscription, the online version is free. That's also a model. Then some publishers are providing the print free if you purchase online. So reverse, vice versa. So there are different models are there. Then in some cases, print and electronic versions are charged separately. Some is costlier, one is not that much costlier. So it depends on the and also some publishers provide discount for them. It depends on the publisher who is pricing the documents. And another one is pay-per-view. Pay-per-view. Suppose in a journal there are 20 articles. You are not interested in all the 20 articles. So you wanted only a particular article. So you can pay for that article only. So you need not pay for the total journal publication. You can pay for that article, and when you download it, the subscription ends, or that will not be available again for you. So you have to use only that article or read that article in a limited stipulated period. So that is also a model, pricing model. Because why they have kept all these is because financially they wanted to provide as much as possible. They wanted to attract the market. Then large commercial publishers are selling bundled. They wanted to pack, like for example in Dish TV or Tata Sky, you can see Telugu pack, South India pack. They'll dump everything. So bundles, like bundles, they will be selling them. You are not having any choice of selecting there, right? You will not have choice. You have to purchase them totally. If you use it or do not use it, you have to purchase them compulsory. So there is also a pricing model, and the last one is the consortium model. So it's very important, consortium model, where a group of libraries will join together and purchase the journals. So there what happens is you will be able to save the money also, because it will be under sharing method. And the resources are also optimally used. 100% they will be more used. Instead of keeping idle in your library, you are able to make them available for the other libraries, and you are sharing the resources among yours and even the expenses among the libraries. So like this, there are many institutions which have become a consortia, like DRDO libraries. So there are DRDO laboratories are all from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. There are many laboratories out there. They have formed a consortia, and they are spending crores of rupees because of consortium model. They are able to save a lot of rupees on them. Okay. Then you can also, there are many colleges also, many colleges and universities are also forming a kind of a consortia, and they are acquiring the journals in a consortium model. Okay. So these are all different types of pricing models which are there. Very important for your annual examination under essay category. Okay. In essay questions, these are very important. Okay. Then the next one is in page number 59. The licensing issues of EJournals are there. Licensing issues. Okay. Now license issues. The license means you are providing an access to the person who has subscribed. How the person, what kind of facilities will have, what kind of provisions will have. So all that details comes under the licensing process. So licensing means these are the following issues. First, licensing is related to access issues, like who, what time, who are the authenticated users, when they can use it, when they can download it. Like that, there are several issues out there. So all these issues will come under access. So license means access issues are also there. Then along with this, use related issues. How many times can be used? Who will be using? At what time they will be using? Statistics. How many times they can print? How many times they can download? So such type of use related issues will also come under the licensing model. Okay. Then the next one is the vendor support. Of course, the date of license, the commencement of the license also, because suppose they have mentioned from January 1. So exactly after 1 year, they will be stopping that the licensing period. So on the next year, again, you have to renewal it. So even vendor support is also very important, because sometimes they will give a grace period. Okay? Sometimes grace period will not be there in some journals. They will cut off the access points. Then terms of payment, how the payment will be made every year or monthly or half yearly, how do the libraries make payment for these journals is also very important. And the governing laws, of course, this is very important, because the electronic documents are there is a chance of copyright infringements and plagiarism. All these are there because they all come under IT Act. So the governing laws which are there in the that scope will be applied here, right? So again, here also the librarian is concerned with the issues like the changes in the hardware. So librarian must know always whether there are any changes in the hardware, which hardware they have to use. Okay, they have to mention all this: which software, accessing, licensing, the content, etc. All these are the challenges for the librarian to know, and they have to come update the users regularly at regular intervals, so that there is no problem for the users in accessing those documents. Okay, these are some of the issues which are to be highlighted under the librarian, issues for the librarian or challenges for the librarian. Okay. Then finally, there is a list of websites. There is a list of websites which are publishing the e-journals in social sciences. Okay. Then you can read these. Like for example, the popular ones are Academic Search Complete. Academic Search Complete, which is under EBSCO host. Then SAGE is there, Sociology Full Text Collection, particularly for the sociology students. Then Social Sciences Full Text is again of EBSCO. Then Cambridge Journals, Oxford Journals, Wiley Journals. This stuff journals are there. Just for your information, you can browse their respective websites, and you can browse the content there. You can, if you find interesting, you can access those by paying the charges. Okay, these are some of the major important journal websites, right? Then finally, to conclude this unit, there are some issues and challenges to the librarians. Now, what are those issues? So it usually this comes in either in essay or a short answer question. So you'll find the main important questions in this unit are: first one is licensing models, then access models, purchasing models or acquisition models. All these are very important for your essay question. And the advantages and disadvantages usually come for the essay or short answer sometimes. And issues and challenges to the librarians. These are the three major topics in this. Okay. Now, the final topic for this unit is the issues and challenges to the librarians. Now, what are the problems that are to be faced, or what are the concerns for the librarians in accessing these journals? So, first one is archiving. Archiving means Bhadrapachuta, or storing in the repository, because these are on online versions. That soft copy is not available with us. How to store it, how to archive it in our like, suppose in case of a printed article, printed journal, we can store it in our place because we have purchased it. Whereas in case of electronic journal, it is not the case, because we have to obtain the full document or the downloadable document, so that can be placed in our servers. So the archiving is very important. The preservation of the collection is also very important, because soft copies generally they have the tendency to get damaged or spoiled because of virus issues. So therefore, you have to be careful. You have to follow proper mechanisms of preservation in case of these electronic documents. And the next issue is hardware and software. Hardware and software issues are the major issues. Like for example, if you do not have a hardware which is compatible or which is unable to open the document, then it will be of useless, right? So therefore, you have to be careful. In case of software, also the same thing. If you have a PDF file and you are not having the Acrobat Reader, it's a problem. Again, if you have a DOC file and you are not having Microsoft Word, again, it's a problem. So these software issues are also very important for e-journals. The network traffic. Suppose the traffic, there is a huge network traffic is there, then automatically you will be accessing the documents very slowly because of internet, very slow bandwidth or sometimes of network traffic. It will not be able to download it properly. The particularly text will be downloaded very easily, but the video clips and audio clips will not be run or downloaded very fast. So it takes more time. So that is also a major issue because of network traffic and economic factors. So economic factors like, for example, you wanted to save the money, or you wanted to spend very less amount of money for the in case of e-journals, you have to be careful. You have to understand the models of licensing and the acquisition models properly, so that you can save money optimally and you can use the amount also optimally. And storage is also in the same kind of archiving. You have to be very careful about the storing, because copyright infringement will also be there. You cannot store everything and you cannot use them without the permissions of the publishers. So it has to be carefully done. Then standardization, of course, as I said, there are a number of text formats are there. PDF is there, doc format is there, HTML format is also there. There are many formats are there. There is no uniform format, so that there is no uniform standard for publication on the journals. Of course, everyone has a choice of selecting their own format. So this problem is also there because of a number of formats. The user is unable to open the document because of software issues. And copyright licensing, that's also major one. Copyright, because you cannot copy it, you cannot distribute it, right? Suppose you have taken the downloaded copy and you have multiple copies of that and you are distributing. That is not correct. If you do it, you will be caught. You will be caught under some kind of a IPR Act. So therefore, you have to be careful. This copyright and licensing issues, you have to be understanding. And otherwise, if it is taken care lightly, you will be grilled also under a law. Then acceptability of e-journal also, because the old nowadays the present people are accepting it, but in olden days there was a problem of accepting. See, many people, the old people, they are not accepting the e-versions. They wanted a printed copy only because they are more comfortable in the printed versions, not in the electronic versions. So therefore, purchasing the both versions is very difficult sometimes, because limited funds will be there in the library. So therefore, you have to convince the users properly, and you have to take a consensus from them so that you can spend it in a proper way. Then finally, the training and education is also must. How to handle it, how to access them, how to search them, that's also must. So librarian has a challenge in training the users in handling these e-documents or managing these e-documents, and in making them using optimally for the users also. It's a major task for the librarian head. So these are all some of the issues and concerns that are related to the librarians for in the context of e-journals. So you have to understand all these issues very carefully, understand them, then you have to proceed in your libraries. So if you have any queries about that, you can ask the seniors and then only you proceed. Otherwise, you'll be facing a problems because of this several issues, legal issues will be there, right? So this is all about the 5th unit, and I think I have covered all the major topics in this. So if there are any doubts in this unit, you can raise the questions. Anyone has a question? Anyone has query or questions? Okay, I think nobody did you understand? Is it okay? Are you able to understand it?
Okay, sir. Understood.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Okay, right. Then, okay. So we'll have a small break for 5 minutes. Then we'll start the next unit, e-databases, electronic databases. Okay, only 5 minutes. I'll come back, right?
Okay, sir.
క్లాస్ కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయిందా? క్లాస్ అయిపోయిందా? ఎవరైనా చెప్పండి.
నో నాట్ ఎట్, ఇంకా కంప్లీట్ కాలే.
సార్ బ్రేక్ ఇచ్చినమ్మా.
ఎంతసేపు సార్ బ్రేక్?
5 minutes అంతే.
ఓకే ఓకే. 12:30 వరకు ఉందా సార్ క్లాస్?
12:30.
Daily only one class, huh?
12:30కి మళ్ళీ ఉంటుంది అమ్మా.
మళ్ళీ 12:30 నుంచి మళ్ళీ అది అంటే సేమ్ లింక్ నుంచా?
సేమ్ కాదు, వేరే లింక్ ఉంటుంది.
ఓకే ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
సార్ ఫస్ట్ టైం రిజల్ట్స్ ఎప్పుడు ఉంటాయి సార్?
వస్తాయి, తొందర పడద్దు, వస్తాయి, తొందర పడద్దు.
ఓకే సార్.
ఊరికి అడగవద్దు, వస్తాయి.
Okay. Okay, we'll start the next unit. Okay, right. So, is it okay? Are you all able to follow me? Right?
Yes, sir.
You are able to understand. But before coming to the class, please read the chapters and please come to the class so that you will be able to understand more properly also. Okay, and it is always good. You will be able to understand in a better way. Okay, right. Anyway, we'll start the 6th unit. 6th unit is all about electronic databases, e-databases. Okay. Now, what is database? What is a database? What is database? What is a database? A database consists of records.
Collection of data.
Collection of records. Okay. What is a record? What is a record?
Group of files.
Group of fields. Group of fields are the headings, right? Suppose, for example, a student record is there. Student record. In student record, what will be the details? Suppose student marks.
Student
name, marks, right? In each paper, they will be giving the marks, the address, father's name, whatever it may be. All those are called as fields. A collection of that fields is one record. Means collection of such details becomes one record of a student, or it can be a book, it can be a teacher, it can be anyone, right? It can be a customer also. Then collection of records is called as a table. Collection of records is one table. Collection of tables is one database. So in a database, there will be many tables. Like for example, students database. In a students database, there will be marks table, fees table, personal details table. So all they are linked through a common field, then it becomes a database. Okay. So like that, the databases are also there in the libraries. Now, what will be the information in those databases? ఏ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఉంటుంది ఆ డేటాబేసెస్ లైబ్రరీస్ లో? బుక్స్ సంబంధించింది, జర్నల్ సంబంధించింది, రైట్? సో నథింగ్ న్యూ, రైట్? సో ఇన్ ఏ డేటాబేస్ ఇట్ కంటైన్స్ ది డీటెయిల్స్ అబౌట్ ది డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ఇన్ ది లైబ్రరీ, వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ electronic document or an electronic journal or electronic book. Those details will be there in the form of a database. So to define the database, we can say it's a collection of electronic records, indexed electronic records. It's a collection of indexed electronic records. So electronic version records, not normal records. We can also have a normal file also, where print copies will be there, but it is a electronic version. So therefore, electronic records are called as database, right? Now, it started with again a brief history about that. There are many definitions are there given for electronic databases. So it is a database which contains the features like search. You can search in a database, edit, delete, modify, all these details, right? These are all the functions of information retrieval. So information retrieval can be done, or information storage can be done in the databases in the form of a database. So such provisions, if it is making, it's called as electronic database. Now, olden days it was in CDs. Now it is all electronic. Okay. Now it is available online also, online databases. Now, the first, the database, it started with the rapid changes in information and communication technologies. The post-coordinate systems like peekaboo, notched systems, indexing techniques are there. These are the techniques which has laid the foundation for the emergence of new information retrieval systems. And these new information retrieval systems are now, which are there. The starting was the automatic indexing developed by H.P. Lund in 1950. It was a basic computer-based index information retrieval system. Okay. Later on, these techniques were used by NASA in their the libraries, or in their functions. They used to have a big database. And again in 1960, the National Library of Medicine, which is the largest library of largest medical library in USA, it has also published several databases like Medline. Medline is a service of NLM, National Library of Medicine, which is in USA, and also a bibliographic service, OCLC, Online Computer Library Center, OCLC. OCLC stands for Online Computer Library Center. Then RLIN, Research Libraries Information Network. So they are all like information retrieval systems developed during those times. So later on, there are many systems like Chemical Abstract Service, Engineering Index, Science Citation Index. All these are a kind of a databases only, where information is stored in the form of records, and you can retrieve those records if you subscribe to those databases. Okay. Now, what are the features of electronic databases? First, it's a huge information reservoir. Like means number of records. You can dump any number of records. Depending upon the hardware capability, you can dump lakhs, millions, billions of records into this reservoir, and the update information will be there. If you modify it, it will be updated in each and every place where it has to be updated, right? And also you can have a multimedia format documents in this, records in this, and also quick information retrieval. You can retrieve the information very quickly. Multidisciplinary approach, like for example, you can have a multidiscipline databases also. Like for example, chemistry and physics simultaneously. You can also search on that also. Based on, depending upon the keywords, it will retrieve, and how best the indexing has been done. Based on that, your retrieval will be. Okay. And of course, you can have the services like CAS and SDI services. You can provide these services using the databases, because those features are available in those commercial databases. So you can use these, provide these services to your users. Okay. And also search options will also be there. Search strategies. You can apply various search strategies in the databases to search for the information. Okay. And these are some of the features of electronic databases which are mentioned in page number 69. Okay. Then the next one is types of online databases. There are different types of databases are there. First one is bibliographic database. Bibliographic database, the name itself, it is there. In this, the content is all about the bibliographical details. What is bibliographical details? Like name, of the author, title, name of the publisher, name of the place where it is published, page numbers, whatever it may be. All those bibliographical details are there in the records. Okay, so such kind of a database is called as bibliographical database. So generally these are called as indexing and abstracting periodicals also. So these abstracting periodicals are stored in the form of a databases. So you will find all the bibliographical details. You can search the bibliographical details in these databases. Okay, so this kind of database is called as a bibliographical database. The examples of such databases are available in page number 70, like ERIC, LISTA, IBSS, LISA. LISA is Library and Information Science Abstracts. Okay, then next type of database is citation databases. I think you all know the citation database. Okay, now what is this citation? What is this citation? Anyone? Anyone can explain about the citation? Citing. I think you all know what is a research article. I'll show you one research article. I'm sharing my screen. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Here it is. Google Scholar is there. Google Scholar. So you'll see normal Google search engine, but Scholar is also there. Google Scholar, where you can find the scholarly articles. Okay. Here I will find an article on globalization. Okay. So an article I have found here. I will see whether it is there or not. Okay, it is. See this. I have to find the subscription, right? Okay, I'm unable to download. Wait, I'll show you. Right. So here, this is the journal article, how it looks. Okay, this is an online journal published by Springer. Sorry, not Springer. It is by Taylor and Francis Group. Okay, are you able to see this? Are you able to see this? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So a journal will be there here. See, this is the journal article. What is this? Title of the article. This is
Hello?
the author name. This is the author name.
Ah,
This is the title of the article. Okay. So here, see what is this one here? One, you are able to see this one? So you are able to see this one? What is this one? What is this one? One. So this one is this. What is this?
No.
Okay, references. References are there, right? So what is that one? What is that one actually? What is the meaning of that one? See here, you are placing one there. That means that statement which is there has been taken from this document. So this is the bibliography of the document which is consulted for that statement. Okay. So this is how you are citing the author. You are citing the author. Citing the author from whom, from the document from whom we have taken the text. That means this statement, whatever the statement which is which has been put here, where is that? Okay, see here, there is one statement here. Some kind of a statement was there, right? Some soft power on the autonomous decision. This is the statement not given by Jean Marie. So this is the author of the article, but this statement has been given by some other person. So who is that person you wanted to know? So this is the person. In one, the details are available of the person whom you are citing. Citing. This is called as citing. Okay. Now such details are available in these journals, right? So there is a database which is also linking. See here, this is an article. Now here cited by 106. That means in 106 articles, this article is cited. This article is cited in 106 articles. Again, this article is cited in 32. Right? If you click on this, you'll see some more articles. Again, in each, you'll see this article is cited by 6007. 2603 have in journals have been cited by this. Okay, so like this, it goes on and goes on. So see, from this place, you have connected to this. From this, you will be connecting to this. So like this, it's a network of citations. Network of citations, right? So therefore, there is a huge link of citations. They are called as citations. Citations is nothing but details about the author of whose work is referred in your research article or in your textbook or whatever it may be. At the end of the chapter, you will find references. References are nothing but the citations. Citations of the referred articles or referred documents, right? So a database is also there of such citations, that is called as citation databases. Very popular database because you will be able to track the authors. You can connect to the authors. You can contact the authors. You can find out how many documents have been published by a specific author, or in one particular subject, how many authors are there. So such networking, like a Facebook, it is networked here. So you can find out such statistics from these citation databases. So there are many citation databases are there, like for example, Science Citation Index, Social Sciences Citation Index, Arts and Humanities Citation Index, then Chemical Sciences. All these are published by Thomas Reuters. The earlier it was known as Web of Science, ISI Web of Science. It was published by Institute of Scientific Information, Philadelphia, and later on it is called as Web of Science. Now it is taken over by the Thomas Reuters. Then next is the full text databases. See, what happened was earlier, because of space problem, they used to publish only abstracts. They used to publish only abstract, or also because of copyright problems, they used to publish only the abstract part, not the full text. So for knowing the full text, they used to contact the authors. So therefore, the databases are also available where only abstract is there and full text is also there, right? Separately. If you wanted a full text database, they are charging more. So full text databases are a kind of a databases where the full text of the journal articles are available in the databases, right? Okay. Then next is a list of databases are there here. Wait a minute. Okay. So then another directory is also there. Online directory. Online directory is also there. Online directory is a list of directories. List of directories of or journals where you can find the links of the databases. Like for example, Ulrich periodical directory. It's a database of the periodicals published in various subjects. See here, there are around 3,83,000 periodicals in 977 subjects. It's a huge list of the links which are there, which gives the information about the journals. Again, DOAJ is also the directory of open access journals. Then Sherpa Romeo, of course, yeah, Sherpa Romeo is a very important question for your short answer questions. See, Sherpa Romeo is again a online repository of which contains the open access policies. Open access means freely available to the public. You can download them freely. Of course, here there are 4 color codes will be given to the journals. 4 color codes. See, for example, green is there. Green will be indicating there is an availability of preprint and postprint publishers publications, preprint and postprint. Okay, so green indicates you can have it will have a preprint as well as postprint. Blue indicates that authors can archive only the postprint. Then the yellow indicates the authors can archive the preprint only. Archive only the preprint versions, whereas white indicates nothing is supported. No archival is supported. So there are color codes. You have to find out which color code, and if it is according to that, you can archive it. Otherwise, if you do not have permissions, you cannot archive them, right? So that is Sherpa Romeo. It's again a repository of the policies. So these are some of the e-journals, e-databases which are there. Popular one, and some more are there. For example, ERIC is there. ERIC, ERIC. It's again an online version of the library of education, particularly the educators, teachers. For them, they have one a separate database, ERIC. It's a full text database of education research and educator, researchers, and general public. Right? It contains 1.5 million bibliographical records, it seems. Then another example is ProQuest. So ProQuest is an Michigan-based company founded in 1938. It contains the microfilms, university microfilms, International, UMI. It is called as UMI, University Microfilms International. So in earlier days, they used to store all the e-books and e-journals in the form of a microfilms. So those microfilms are also available in this ProQuest. Then sociological abstracts. Sociological abstracts means sociology related to subject of sociology. It contains the subjects such as behavioral sciences, social work, human services, which are all related to sociology. Then next is the ProQuest dissertations and thesis. PQDT, ProQuest dissertations and thesis. So PQDT Global is an online platform where you'll find all the dissertations and thesis in that website. So it is free, open access. So you can search for the PhD thesis and dissertations online in this PQDT. Then social science abstracts is also there. Then RIPEC, research papers in economics, particularly for the scientists working in economics. Digital history, okay. Then history or related to history subject. Then literary encyclopedia. So all the reference works and the topics related to literature and cultural history is available in literary encyclopedia. So these are all different websites which are having the databases related to their respective subjects. Okay. And again, in these databases, there are free databases are also there, commercial databases also there. So commercial databases, you have to subscribe them, you have to pay for them. Again, the licensing models will be there, acquisition models will be there. So you have to understand the licensing and acquisition models, and you have to subscribe the for these databases. Right? So of course, open access databases are also there. You can download them, you can access them anytime. They are free. You did not pay anything for them. So there are many, like for example, DOAJ is there, Directory of Open Access Journals, wherein list of journals are there. You can download them. I'll show you that. You can see that. You can search. You just open the browsers and just type those. Can find out the list of journals, right? Here, this is Directory of Open Access Journals. So you can search the journal in these. See here, how many journals are there? 12,225 journals are there. You click on this, you'll find out the subjects which are there. You can find out the subjects. See here, agriculture, fine arts, general works. You can search. Suppose you wanted some articles on law. You can select this law. Law is selected, right? Then you can find out, you can text the type here, right? So let's say IPR, and you can search. Just press enter. So here, see here, published by Matej is again a Stat and Bravo. This is an open access journal. So justice here. So you can find out the list of journals like this. Visit the site. This is the site of the Justicia. So like this, you can browse a number of websites of these journals. Just go there and find the details about the electronic versions, right? So here you can search for the journal articles. For example, you can find out, you can go to archive, you can find out the volumes there. Suppose you wanted the previous versions, previous volumes of that. So here, volume 9, volume 8, the previous volumes are available here. So you can, that are stored in the archives, right? So each and every journal will have an archive. So wherein you can find the previous volumes or previous issues of the journal articles. Okay. So just search for these. Like for example, you wanted to see digital history. You can search www.uh.uh.edu. This is digital history. So you can find out the topics. Suppose you wanted to find out on the architecture, you can find out here. Click on this. You will find the articles there. Okay. So you wanted to find out an architecture or read this. Suppose sometimes some are they'll not be making you available, only based on the IP address you will be able to log in. Okay. Yes. Virtual exhibitions are also there. So you can search or browse any topic of your choice, right? So you can search sociology, REPEC also there, repec.org. So this is research papers in economics. So you can find out the journal articles. Okay. Papers here. So working papers, journal articles. So this is again journal article. See here. So you can download here. Suppose if this giving an option of downloading, you can download the. Usually they will give the abstract. This is the link. There is an application here. Download. This article is downloaded, right? These are all free, but in case of a commercial journals, you have to pay for them. You have to subscribe, get the subscription from them. Otherwise, you will not be able to open those, right? So this is all about the databases. Okay, just read the chapter and just check it. Any website, you can search those websites. This is all left for you. You can browse those websites, then search the content. You will find a lot of details available in those. Just because you have to write the some examples. When you write an exam, you have to mention few examples of the databases. Suppose if there is a question on databases in economics, then you can write some of the examples there. Right? If you search them, you will be remembering more. And just use your internet, and you can find a lot of details in this. Okay. So this is all about our e-databases. Is there anything, any question in this unit? Are you all clear? Okay, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So just read the chapters one after the slowly, patiently. You read each book at a time, note the important points, write down somewhere in the notebook, and if you do it like this, it will be very easy for your final exams. You need not worry about the preparation as well, right? So if you do prepare now only, it is very easy for your final examinations, right? Okay. Okay, then we'll stop our session. Okay, if it is okay, no questions from your side.
Sir, important questions.
Economics paper. Econ paper means economic papers. Econ paper means economic questions. Economic papers. Paper means articles. Articles on economics. Important questions are the same thing: licensing models, subscription models, and advantages and disadvantages of electronic journals. Then in this, the important one is types of online databases. Types of online databases and features of databases, e-databases. And sometimes you may also get a question on mention few examples of online databases. Okay. So if you read them and if you note them, you prepare notes, it will be easy for you. Yeah, citations and references are same. Citing means you are referring them. You are citing. Citing means referring them. Okay. Consortium model means group of people joining together. Group of people joining together to, suppose for example, you wanted to purchase a computer, right? You wanted to use it for yourself. Suppose you wanted to purchase a laptop, or it will be costing around 60 to 70,000. So if you purchase in a group, like for example, you all friends, okay, you all friends join together. So then what will happen? You can share the amount also, and also you can use optimally. Everyone can use this. So here also same thing. The consortium model is like joining hands for purchasing as well as sharing the resources. Okay. This is called as consortium model. Okay. Okay, then if there are no questions, we'll stop here. We'll stop our session, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
There is a question: difference between source and service. Service is offered. Source is consulted. The source is consulted, right? Source can be anything. Source can be anything. Like it can be a person, it can be a book, it can be a journal, it can be a lecture, it can be a picture, it can be a newspaper, whatever it may be. All these are called as sources, where information is available. Service is offered, provided. Like circulation, digital library service, like online services. These are called as services. You will be providing the sources, that is called as services.
Okay, sir.
Okay, right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay then. Bye.
స్టాప్ ది రికార్డింగ్. స్టాప్ చేయను. ఇక్కడ చేయను లేకపోతే ఎండ్ కొట్టాను. ఇది కూడా తీసాను. యూట్యూబ్ లైవ్ వస్తుంది. ఎండ్ కొట్టేస్తున్నా. అమ్మ క్లోజ్ చేసానా? నెక్స్ట్ లింక్ లో జాయిన్ అవుతారా? హలో.
Yes, sir.
నెక్స్ట్ లింక్ లో జాయిన్ అవ్వండి అమ్మా ప్లీజ్.
Okay, sir.
థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ యువర్ ఇంటరాక్షన్.
Okay, thank you, sir.
వెరీ గుడ్. అట్లా ఇంటరాక్ట్ అవుతే మీకు సబ్జెక్ట్ నాలెడ్జ్ పెరుగుతుందమ్మా. మీరు
Yes, sir.
చాట్ బాక్స్ లో క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగొచ్చు, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
క్లాస్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత చాట్ బాక్స్ లో అడగొచ్చు. వేరే వాళ్ళు తీసుకోవడానికి అవకాశం లేదు. మీకు వీలు కాకపోతే చెప్పండి, వాళ్ళని తెలుగు మీడియంలో జాయిన్ కమ్మంట. చెప్తాం సార్, నో ప్రాబ్లం. చేయండి నో ప్రాబ్లం. ఓకే ఓకే సార్, పర్వాలేదు. ఓకే చెప్పండి, అట్లయినా పర్వాలేదు. ఓకే సార్, సమ్ అదర్ డే కవర్ చేసినా నో ప్రాబ్లం. అంటే షెడ్యూల్ ఉన్నది సార్, ఇది 21st వరకు ఉన్నది. షెడ్యూల్ బిజీ ఉన్నది. కాకపోతే అట్లా వీలయ్యేటట్టు లేదు సార్. షెడ్యూల్ మొత్తం తయారు చేసి పెట్టాం లాస్ట్. కాకపోతే ఒక హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ అటు ఇటు చేయొచ్చు అంతే. తక్కువ చేయండి సార్ అంతే. చేయండి సార్, అట్లానే చేయండి. రైట్ సార్, రైట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. బాయ్. హలో. రైట్ అమ్మా, ఇది క్లోజ్ చేస్తున్నాం.